supposed to be a Proverbs 31 woman, oh, that's what you said. That man misleading if he ain't spirit-led. How is him that you feeding? He's supposed to be the head.
Hey y'all, it's Perkyy back at it again with another video. Peep the title. The teen who killed two sisters as a satanic sacrifice. Now, I know I said I was done with these type of videos, but this one caught my eye and I just couldn't resist. Killing teens as a satanic sacrifice. I just don't understand what be going through these people's heads. Like, I have a guilty conscience killing spiders. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to go any further than that when it comes to killing. But we're going to go ahead and get into this video. But I do want to say, before I say my whole, usual routine, I know I've been gone for a long time, for a while now. I am going to give you guys double, triple uploads for the rest of the year. Y'all willing though. So I just wanted to just throw that out there. So if you see multiple videos in a day, just know your girl is a woman of her word. But now we're going to go ahead and get into this video. Before I click this play button, I just want to say that if this is your first time seeing me on your screen or you're a returning subscriber, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because there's nothing but lit content like this. It's not on a consistent basis. I've been going for a minute. But on a consistent basis, my baby. Wait for the wink. Ooh, I'm gonna have to give a tutorial one day. One day.
Never call any of the monsters we cover on this channel normal. But some of their motives are so creepy that you just can't believe that's why they did it. In this super disturbing case from the UK, two sisters were happily celebrating a birthday when a total sicko came out of the darkness and tried to use them to complete a bizarre ritual. But why and how could this happen?
And why then?
Well, brace yourselves because this one gets extremely weird.
Well, be ready.
Ready? Let's take a deeper look. June 5th, 2020 was supposed to be a really great
recent
day for two very close sisters. Biba Henry was a mature student who'd spent a lot of time helping people suffering from Alzheimer's. Nicole Smallman was in her 20s and a very talented photographer. They both lived in London, England. On June 5th, 2020, they must have been feeling pretty good about how things were going. The restrictions of the first lockdown due to the virus had just been lifted. And even better, it was Biba's 46th birthday. So there were two major reasons for them to celebrate. The sisters decided that they'd party with their friends at Fyrant County Park in Wembley, northwest London. They did this outside so that they followed the government guidelines about meeting in groups. And it probably didn't hurt that out there away from most of the city, they could have as much fun as they wanted. And it was also free. That evening, they picked up some snacks and drinks for the big night. In this footage, you can even see Nicole talking to another person as she buys her groceries. In fact, all of the people who knew them thought Nicole and Biba were really amazing women, and they were having a really great time at this party. At Fyrant Park, they met with their friends and proceeded to let off a lot of steam. Hey, being cooped up will do that to you. I think we can all relate there, right? The party started at around 7 or 8 p.m. that evening. Eventually, at about 12:30 a.m., all their friends called it a night and went home. But the two sisters weren't quite ready to leave the park yet. They were having such a great time that they kept right on dancing and laughing and playing with the
park was lit. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you.
Probably a little drunk by then. What I think is that they were so happy to be together that they never noticed anything that might be wrong out there. Basically, the sisters were completely unaware that someone very dangerous was lurking in the dark nearby, watching them party. And they had no idea at all what would happen to them next.
That's scary.
The next day, by the evening of June 6th, 2020, Biba and Nicole's family and friends were starting to get very worried. Nobody had seen or heard anything from either of them. And even if they both had a major hangover, by that point, they should have answered, right? Although the family reported it to the police at first, the authorities didn't move all that quickly. But because they were so worried, a group of friends and family took the search upon themselves. They must have been so afraid of what they'd find. What they eventually discovered took it all from bad to so much worse. First, they spotted a pair of sunglasses, which belonged to Biba. They took this first find straight
my heart
to
would have
the
been
cops,
like this.
but it wasn't really enough evidence for a proper police search. Then they noticed a large kitchen blade in the grass, very close to where the sisters had held their party. This was not a good sign. Nicole's boyfriend, Adam Stone, was now very worried. While he was still on a call with the police about the knife, he wandered down towards some bushes. What he found there made him scream for help, and he even fell to his knees in shock. It was worse than you could believe. And while the police were on their way, Adam contacted their mom. He said, Mina, we found it. Mina, I'm going to need you to sit down. I found them, but they've gone.
That is a horrible phone call. That is horrible. No parent wants to hear that.
Adam had found Biba and Nicole's bodies in those bushes
together
below the hill where they'd had their party. Their clothes had been removed and they were lying top to toe and they were intertwined. That's
what?
Super creepy.
That's weird.
Someone had tried to hide them there. Can you imagine?
He didn't do
all
a good
those
job.
people walking by who never knew? That's so scary. The scene was also covered in that didn't belong to either sister. It was recorded as belonging to an unknown male, and it was clear that their attacker had somehow received a major injury during the struggle. This makes sense, although poor Biba never really saw who came out of the dark at her. It was pretty clear that Nicole did everything she could to fight back. Once she realized she was being attacked, she kicked and punched until she was overwhelmed by multiple injuries.
Wow.
The attack was described by the police as frenzied. At least an injured suspect is a great lead, but only if you know where to start looking. Over the next month or two, the police began to narrow down their suspects. The one thing they were totally sure of was that the sisters did not know the person who had taken their lives that night. So who could it have been? And why would a total stranger do something so awful to them?
That's what I'm stuck on. That's sick. You can't even go nowhere.
Strangers ending the lives of other strangers is still super rare. According to recent figures on homicide from the Office for National Statistics, 6 out of every 208 women in March 2019 had their lives ended by a stranger, which is way less than even 3%, which is even scarier in some ways, isn't it? The danger is usually a lot closer to home. So random attacks like this are rare, but also totally terrifying whenever they happen. But Biba and Nicole obviously felt very safe together, surrounded by those fairy lights. And it wasn't long before the police started to close in on their suspect. It would turn out to be someone totally creepy. And, it's safe to say, extremely sad, deluded, and dangerous.
Hey, this is getting scary on me. We got an ad. Perkyy. Get YouTube Premium.
So you remember all the DNA evidence that was left all over the park?
Right.
That was a huge help. After just about a month of searching, the police moved in on a prime suspect. The guy's name was Daniel Hussein.
It's me,
you don't even look like a...
You're under arrest, alright?
Don't you love how polite British police can be? Anyway, he didn't resist that taser. And so they had him ready.
Look how normal, like, he looked normal.
Yeah. The wrists from the cuffs.
The wrist?
Oh, is this?
That's
it.
it.
The injuries on your fingers. What happened there?
And you notice that he never even questions what this is all about. Of course, they'd noticed that very suspicious cut on his hand.
Dang.
He claimed it was because of a robbery, but he'd never reported it because it never happened. Later, the police found very clear footage of him at a hospital the day after Biba and Nicole vanished.
Dang, they messed his
injured
finger
hand
up. They had to
checked out.
stitch
The cut
him.
was so bad, they were going to refer him to a plastic surgeon. But the evidence against him was looking really conclusive.
Wow.
He'd also been spotted on video going into the same park where the sisters were. He'd been staying there for almost the whole night. So there was plenty of solid evidence once they started looking. Perhaps the creepiest bit of video they had shows him buying a block of very ordinary kitchen knives at a local supermarket, knowing what he wanted to use them for.
He killed them with noose.
Gives me a horrible chill. FYI, in the UK, they check your age before you can buy blades like this. He had to show his face and ID. So there's totally no doubt that it was him. And after he spent that night in the park, they had footage of him returning to his house. He has a coat wrapped around his waist to cover up because that nasty cut he got. And the struggle with Nicole had obviously drenched his pants in blood. But why would he do something like this? He had never met Biba and Nicole before.
That's what I'm confused.
Like, made him decide that
they was just chilling, so why then?
Well, he totally confused fiction with real life, and he made a dark deal that sounds totally insane. Yeah, he did this for totally pathetic and insane reasons. Although nobody has used the insanity defense with him, he's clearly lost his grip on reality. For start, he sounds more and more like an extremist incel. You know, the guys who think they're owed a girlfriend and get violent and entitled. Daniel was convinced that he deserved a great girlfriend. So I think you can tell where this is going. But on top of that creepiness, he was active on satanic forums that told him how magic could solve all of his relationship problems. So instead of working on himself, he became kind of obsessed with calling on the other side for help. He often watched a YouTube channel called Becoming a Living God. That channel has since been taken down, mainly because of this awful case. What those channels and magic users promise to do is kind of silly. They mainly seem to exist to trick a lot of people out of a lot of money. But enough people seem to believe that spells are the answer. And it was just enough to make Daniel extremely dangerous. At Daniel's house, police even found more evidence that he thought this stuff was totally real. Like, he actually written a contract trying to convince a demon to help him get a girlfriend and to win the lottery. He'd signed it in his own blood, too. He believed that if he 6 women every 6 months, all of his wishes would come true. He'd signed this horrible promise and even left a space for the creature to add his or her signature to. Notice there's a blank space there? Like, I guess that entity couldn't find a pen or whatever. Anyway, he'd even bought some lottery tickets, and these were found with the contract. By the way, these were not winning lottery tickets. Frankly, I'm not that surprised. Don't demons have better things to do? He'd also asked the demon to help him get away with it, so yeah. Guess he really did something that wouldn't work. But he's pretty unimpressive. So what happened to this creepy loser in the end?
That's sick. All for a girl? Like a girlfriend? It
probably didn't help that he acted out in front of the judge. And like an immature little baby, he turned his chair around on the video call and tried to get a reaction. But the sister's mom, Mina, has taught a lot of teenagers like him. And she was totally unimpressed with him too. He was brought to justice and sentenced to 35 years on October 28th, 2021. After Daniel was sentenced, Mina said,
"An obnoxious human being. He's a broken human being. Who, if he hadn't been caught, or other families,
30-something years,
may have been suffering what we have. Well, he ain't out there now."
The police were totally convinced he'd do this again.
This making me mad.
And like the mom says, it's a relief that Daniel didn't get the chance to hurt anyone else. He's locked up now, and hopefully forever. But Nicole and Viva's last moments must have been so terrifying. I can't even imagine it. There was a vigil for them in August. Lots of people attended, and they were really furious that something like this had happened. Especially at such a
They need to be furious at how many years he got.
They had a right to dance if they wanted to dance, and they had a right to go back home safe.
But all the same, I'd recommend being very cautious about walking around in the dark. There might just be a sick mind out there who's made a deal with the dark side to win the lottery. So, what do you think about this case? Do you think that that monster will ever be released? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
I'm Tia.
All that for a girlfriend, like, you know, you see stuff like this in movies. You see stuff like this on TV, in TV shows, but you don't ever think like stuff like this really happens in real life. And it's like, I don't know how much stuff I have to see for me to get it. You can't even be safe and feel protected at a park. They were at a park, which is free to the public. Because you have people just like, that was many by the way, you have people just like this where you don't know what their motive is. You don't know what they're trying to do, and you don't know who they're trying to do it to. This sacrifice for a girlfriend was not it, buddy. Like, I can't even compliment you because of what you've done, but he's not ugly. I'll say that this man's not ugly at all. So it's like, you could have got someone, but maybe you were doing it the wrong way. Maybe you were approaching these women the wrong way. You didn't have to do all that. And it's like, you did all that and you still didn't get the woman. So how do you feel? Even Satan don't mess with you like that. I mean, realistically, if you think about it, this man was doing rituals. Okay. And then like, the ritual was to get a girlfriend, and then he didn't even get, and then had 2 women, and they still didn't want him. So you wasted your money, in other words. Just crap is crazy. Oh my God. My condolences to those women and their families, because they had to deal with seeing this man's face for the rest of their life, they cannot talk to their loved one no more. Meaning, if you don't stop, they can't talk to their loved one no more because of this man right here, because he wanted a girlfriend that bad. It's crazy. Them women could have had more years added onto their life, but because he wanted a girlfriend and they said no, he took them out. The world we live in. Anywho, if y'all like more videos like this, because I know I do. This is the same channel that did the one where the girl had did her TikTok and then she like died moments later after the TikTok. So if you guys like more videos like this, which I hope y'all do because they have so much, let me know in the comment section down below so that I can react to like low-key their entire channel because they have some good videos out. But I love and appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Please go ahead and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me which one is next in the comment section down below. All my social media is in the description. It's also right here as well, just in case you missed it. 600,000 people are on the way, and I'm so blessed, grateful, and appreciative of each and every single one of you guys. I want to give a shout out to you guys and a shout out to my Elohim, Yahuwah, and Yahusha HaMashiach for blessing me with such an amazing platform. I am so grateful for this. But y'all know me. Y'all know not start touching my face. Hello. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Have a blessed one. I'll see you in the next one. Your girl is out.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What? I won't sell my soul. I know